Hello, welcome to the Eclectic Reader. Listen to great books and stories while you use your eyes and hands for other things. Now here's your host, Madison
Hi, it's
Mason.
Madison Mason again. Thanks for coming back. We're close to the end. It's chapter 62 of The Grey Quarry Boys. The Grey Quarry Boys, chapter 62, all over. Some bitch in hell. I don't believe it. Look what that old fucker's done now. Johnny sat upright in the truck as the mailbox emerged bright, red, and inviting in the distance. Slick slowed down to a crawl as they approached. Look at there at that. Damn, that's pretty, Slick cooed. Yeah, somebody's a goddamn artist, Johnny sneered. Well, I'm the art critic, and I say this here is a piece of shit. I don't like it. Hey, I'm gonna turn it into what they call that abstract art. He coughed and sputtered and choked. Slim watched him like a scientist observing a life form. Look here, Johnny, let's leave this here one alone. There ain't no reason to just go on forever. It's just getting old. Forget it. Johnny reached over and grabbed the front of Slick's jean jacket and yanked him. Slick's eyes widened as he stared into the snarling face. Johnny's breath smelt of last night's booze and this morning's Camels. His eyes became bloodshot slits. Hate rolled from his mouth on his foul breath. I don't care about nothing, fool. I'm gonna blow that thing sky high. I'm gonna blast it off the face of this goddamn earth is what I'm gonna do. Then Johnny's eyes grew cold and dead. But first, I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch for building it. I'm going into that guy's house tonight and I'm gonna kill everybody in it and you're gonna help me. You know why? 'Cause you're my buddy. That's why. Right, buddy? He grinned an unsettling grin and slowly let Slick go. Silence hung in the air like a hot cloud. Slick ran every escape route possible in his mind, but he could find no way out of this one. Johnny, maybe we... Hey, buddy, you're in for a dime, you're in for a dollar. Let's go. Johnny slugged him on the shoulder good-naturedly and lit another smoke. He laughed again as they pulled away from the happy mailbox and headed for town. It was in the deepest hours of night that headlights washed across the bright red barn with the rooster on top and headed down the dirt road toward the farm. The valley was pitch dark. Quiet lay all around. The old white house stood sedate and aloof as Slick turned off the engine and lights and coasted down the hill into the front yard. His heart was beating rock and roll drums and his hands shook uncontrollably. He was scared. He wanted out. But Johnny wasn't turning back. He dragged on his camel and nursed his sore arm. He had spent most of the afternoon polishing the barrel of the old Remington Model 1878 double-barrel shotgun, just for the occasion. It was forged steel and it was a work of art, the perfect tool for the job at hand. He gave one last tug on the cigarette and tossed it out the window. Let's go visit, he whispered, and slowly opened the door. Slick didn't move. He was riveted with fear. Johnny eyed him coolly and leveled the shotgun in the window right at Slick's neck. His voice was soft as velvet. Don't you get funky on me now, Slick. I said let's go, so let's go. Slick slithered out of his side and they approached the house like Indians stalking deer, silently climbed the front stairs to the porch, and walked to the door. They tried the knob, knowing folks around these parts never saw the necessity of locking doors. But it was locked. Johnny looked at Slick in the dark as if to say something. Then he seemed to think better of it, reared back, raising one booted foot. He kicked the old door right at the level of the deadbolt, and the frame splintered. The beveled glass that had welcomed years of visitors by granting them an open view into the innocent house shattered in 1,000 shards, and Johnny stomped into the darkness of the hall, his footsteps echoing eerily off the walls. Inside, racing with fear, he leapt upstairs to where he knew the bedrooms would be. Adrenaline raged through his system, jacking him like a jet engine. Instantly, his resounding bootsteps told him he was in an empty house. God damn it! God damn it! He came thundering back down the stairs and ran into the deserted living room, where Slick stood in the dark, relieved. Johnny started to speak, but the night exploded as he blew a hole in the living room wall. Jesus! Slick hit the floor, terrified. What the hell? Kaboom! Johnny blew out the picture mirror over the fireplace. Glass, wood, plaster, lath flew through the living room in sharp chunks that splattered over Slick. Johnny reloaded the shotgun and went through the house, methodically blowing up every offending thing he contacted. The newel on the stairs, the kitchen sink, the bathroom toilets, light fixtures, everything was some threat. Slick ran into the hallway. He had had enough. Cut it out, damn it! Are you fucking crazy, you son of a bitch? Let's get out of here! The wrong thing to say at the wrong time. There was nothing premeditated in Johnny's action. He simply spun around on Slick and gave him both barrels, as if he was another object in the old house. Slick split nearly in half, smashed against the wall, and spoke no more. Their friendship, for whatever it was worth, over. Johnny stood in the dying echo of thunder and calmly reloaded the Remington. The shells clunked into the barrels with a satisfying feel, and he snapped the shotgun shut. He walked out to Slick's truck and climbed in the driver's side. He reached under the seat and pulled out the half-finished bottle of bourbon and polished it off. The bottle bounced across the front yard, an invading object out of place. Johnny started the truck and pulled away toward Highway 41. At the top of the road, he pulled the truck onto the highway and spun around, pointing the headlights at the mailbox. He had to admit to himself that it was a work of beauty, but it pissed him off, and the time had come. He got out of the truck and stood spread-legged in the glare with the shotgun leveled at the mailbox. He sneered at the cheery barn scene like an enemy. "Number 100, baby! This is it! Nobody fucks with Johnny Mal—" He only fired once. The explosion was tremendous. It shook the ground so hard it was heard all the way into the next county. It awoke folks all around Gray Quarry and sent the police and highway patrol immediately out into the night. When they finally managed to locate the scene of the explosion, it was hard to tell what had happened. There was a large crater on the side of the highway, and half of the road was missing. In the woods across the way, they found the twisted remnants of a mangled Dodge pickup truck. When they went down to Herman Kroll's house to make sure he was all right, they discovered a scene of carnage. That was when they closed off the highway and started searching for clues in earnest. The next day they began finding bits of human remains, a piece of bent metal that looked to be a shotgun of some kind, paint and shards of wood. That's when they figured that this was the mailbox vandal, that he must have attempted to dynamite this last mailbox, and it had gone off prematurely. But why so much dynamite? One stick would have been more than sufficient. But judging by the size of the crater, whoever this was must have used at least 5 sticks, maybe more. Somebody had a vendetta against somebody. Whoever was in pieces all over the landscape must have really wanted to finish the job, but he didn't know what he was messing with. They shook their heads and chuckled about the weird people these days. What a world. Guys made bets on the odds of this being the end of the mailbox vandalism in Gray Quarry. Those who bet it was all over eventually won.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of The Eclectic Reader. Please go on to the next numbered episode to continue. Also, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you'd like to help support the project, you can donate under Madison Mason at Patreon. And please check out our website, kltkrdr.com, for more information.
Hi, this is Madison Mason. I want to personally thank you for listening to The Eclectic Reader and invite you to share your experience, your thoughts, and your suggestions. We have many great books lined up for the future, but if you have requests for anything that is in the public domain, please email us at kltkrdr@gmail.com.
kltkrdr@gmail.com.